Dude, when you put that together smooth, that's dynamite, man.
Hey T-Fam, I'm Kirby Bridges and I'm a coach here at EssentialTennis.com, where it's our mission to provide passionate instruction for passionate players just like you. In today's lesson, we're going to be focused on how to hit a huge overhead. Believe me, it'll be fantastic. So, Phil came to work with us from Los Angeles, California, here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Make sure you stay to the end. That's where I'm going to be telling you all about where you can access our coaching for free the very next time that you're on court. And in the meantime, let's get straight into the lesson.
You are a little bit unique in that your overhead swing technique and your serve swing technique are quite different. Fundamentally speaking, they should be essentially the same framework in terms of the mechanics of using the body to lead, loading up the shoulder and the arm, and then unloading or releasing or pronating and rotating to the outside. Let me start by showing you your serve, and I want to show you all the things you do well on your serve, and then I want to show you your overhead. Now they're different, they're not exactly the same, but as I said, basically from the waist up, the mechanics should be very, very similar. With one exception when it comes to your serve, and we'll talk about this when we actually work on your serve, you have a really, really, really aggressive load in your trophy pose in multiple different ways. You've got a very deep knee bend. You've got a big rotation back towards the camera with both your hips and your chest. And you've got a really, really aggressive tilt or kind of lean up towards the ball with your shoulders going up towards contact. And so those are like all the different ways that we can load our body, and you take all of them kind of to the extreme. And so you've got a very, very loaded and turned and rotated position in your trophy pose. On an overhead, we wouldn't want to see something this this aggressive. Like this is kind of to the extreme on an overhead. We want all of those things on an overhead preparation, but not to this extreme, basically. Now, as you start to go up towards the ball, what's really, really good is how you load your racket and your shoulder. Usually I'm looking for about horizontal to the court surface with the forearm. Laying the shoulder back, the shoulder laying the forearm back, and you're past that, which I don't think I've seen another amateur athlete before get to that position. Djokovic is down below parallel. A lot of professional players are below parallel. I'm not sure I've seen an amateur player before with that good a range of motion in the shoulder. Yeah, for sure. And the other really crucial thing here, and this is going to be the main difference I'm going to point out between your service motion and your overhead motion, is where your strings are facing right now.
Okay. So it comes up.
Yep.
Closed.
Yeah, this where the arrow is coming from is your hitting surface, and your strings right now are facing straight to the left, and this generally is referred to as on edge, with the frame of the racket leading up towards contact. And so from there, you hold it until the last second, and then it unwinds, AKA snaps up, releases up towards the ball. This is the same principle as what we were talking about on your forehand, leading and then releasing. That's the same principle here of loading the forearm, the shoulder, and then unwinding and releasing up towards the ball. So you do a really, really nice job of that on your serve, and you continue that rotation. Contact is essentially at the middle. So right here, your strings are facing your target. Right here, it's a little blurry, but you can see your strings are facing that way. And back right before contact, your strings are facing this way. And contact is in the middle. And so we have that big full release of energy through the point of contact right in the center of it. And that's probably the best part about your serve. A lot of amateur players never ever do that. Now, on your overhead, yeah, this is honestly like I'm not sure I've ever seen this big of a difference before between an overhead and a service motion. So on your overhead motion, you are getting sideways, and I would say this is adequate.
Okay.
Like you're 90 degrees to the net. most professional players are probably a little turn past 90 degrees, but 90 degrees is definitely adequate. We can see you've got tilt up towards the ball with the plane of your shoulders. That's good. And as of right now, your racket face is closed, but your first move is to open your strings, gotcha. Right? And so you totally lose all of that kind of loading of your shoulder and your arm. And right now your strings are facing straight up, whereas on your serve they were facing this way.
I got you.
Yep. This is referred to as the racket drop, and it's created by hinging back at the shoulder. And so at the hand and wrist, you are laying your racket back, which is opening the strings, and it becomes much more of a push kind of motion, kind of like on your forehand, how you're just kind of like pushing forward instead of releasing through. Granted, you still like hit it well enough that you're able to get some good pace on it. But the strings are open, 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 open,
way open,
all the way through. And you actually release here after contact, but it's almost kind of meaningless because right here your strings are already facing towards the ball, and right here your strings are facing the same way. Gotcha. So it's like push, 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 contact, and then you release. So you're kind of hit through the ball. You can see is just kind of stiff and tight. Yeah, it's not as smooth or flowing as your service motion. Your service motion has a whole lot of good stuff going on, but if we can take those good mechanics of your serve and translate it over to your overhead, this will probably come pretty quickly. If you already changed it on your serve, you'll probably clean it up pretty quick on your overhead. All right, so come on into the middle of the service line, please. And let's just see some slow shadow swings. Yep. And just for your own awareness of what you're doing, I'd love to see you go to your trophy pose position. And I'd love to see you turn and look at the angle of your strings, and then turn and drop. And again, look at your racket. We want to see the edge of the racket pointing up, and then slowly come up to contact and release. Yep, let me see you kind of segment in that way. So pause at trophy pose, pause at racket drop. Yep, up on edge. Yeah, exactly. Let's go through that a bunch of times. Trophy pose, racket drop, up on edge. Yep, yep, yep. Trophy pose, I like this amount of shoulder turn a little better, where we can see a little bit of your chest facing towards the camera. Here you're checking out your drop, on edge, up towards the ball, on edge, turn to meet the ball. Here we see your amazing mobility there at the elbow. Now, from here, would love to see you continue to turn before you come across to your left side. Yep. Okay. Just think of it as this momentum, this energy unwinding. Just, it wants to keep turning outwards. So let it keep turning. Yep, 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 yep. And when Ira feeds to you, I want you to go through the motion at like 10%, 20% speed. Right? We just want to see you execute those mechanics, nice and slow and smooth. All right, one more, and then Ira will hit you a feed. And you're only focused. I don't care if you make it, miss it, hit it over the curtain, whatever. Just execute that same motion with your upper body. Okay, good, good, good. Go ahead. Same thing, Phil. Good, same thing, Phil. Okay, here, check this out. Nice shot, man. That's a million times better. Yeah. Look at that. Nice job, man. That's really good compared to before. It's a million times better fundamentals. So you're kind of catching a little off center, and so that's fine. Like we'll get all those kinks worked out. Let's do 2 shadow swings and 2 feeds, please. Repeat. Really nice, Phil. Good, good, good. But wait. I want to see that. I want to see that. That was awesome. Yeah, I think you kept it on edge.
Yeah, I never came back around.
Which is an awesome mistake to make.
Never got back around.
Yeah, look at that. On edge, on edge, on edge, and yep, caught it. Caught it right off the frame.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a sweet mistake to make. Like, you made the opposite mistake of what you're used to making. And so the first part of your movement was great. We just had to start releasing a little bit earlier. Exactly the same thing. This guy, he makes all the mistakes I want him to make. Yep. Good job. Here's what you just did. So really nice job getting on edge. And this one you executed really nice. You started unwinding just at the right time, and you hit it perfectly square. And it was going right towards Ira. Okay, Phil, I want you to add like 10% acceleration now. On your shadow swings too. Yep. Here, check it out. Do you hear that sound?
Yeah.
That's the sound of clean release through the ball, and not just pushing through it. Here's the one you just hit. Got it a little bit off center.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why there's that twist in there.
The racket
But
went.
awesome position here. You're unwinding. It's probably still slightly,
Not turning
it wasn't quite 100% square, but it was very close. So eventually, you'll be able to go to a full dropped on edge position and unwind it. You kind of alluded to this earlier. Unwind it early enough that you can actually hit it flush, like powerfully back that way. It's just a matter of getting the feel for this unwinding of the that loaded position with your shoulder and your forearm.
There. Yeah, and look at that release. So that's that looseness that will give you the snap.
Yeah, so I have to stay loose.
Yeah, I mean, if you try to like kind of get there and kind of like push it in, that's when you see your hand, and we saw it on a couple videos ago, your hand coming down straight. And so here you can see the hand snap through contact, and that's what we're looking for, is that snap right there. I mean, look at in slow motion it even looks fast. Right there. Go up to it and snap. There you go.
That's it.
Go up to it, be loose, and snap. I mean, that's huge. And that's at 50%.
Dude, when you put that together smooth, that's dynamite, man.
It's smoothness and clean contact that you're searching for. Nice. So
let me see that
sound, that sound you hear is the ball compressing. So that's what you're kind of searching for, and the only way you get that is with smooth contact and relax. Yeah.
I want to see that last one. I'm just really curious what the mechanics look like.
There you go. I like that.
Just flush, like right straight through it.
And again, that wasn't like it was absurd. Ian, what's the golden rule of tennis? Always assume the ball's coming over.
It's good.
You can't stand there and then react.
I was watching for the snap.
6 to 8 more with just 10% more speed. So now you're probably at around a 7, okay? So now we're starting to accelerate, but we're still remaining loose with the little parts and being solid with the strong parts, or the big parts.
Now we're talking.
There you go.
By the end of our time together, Phil was hitting some seriously massive overheads. But you have to understand that this was not the end for Phil. This is just the beginning. So we sent him home with a detailed, personalized action plan. And now I want to invite you to do the exact same thing. We recognize that we can't be on the court with you during your next practice, so we want to give you the very next best thing, a step-by-step guide that you can access so that you know exactly how to most effectively spend each minute of your practice to get the biggest results possible. Just let us know where to send your action plan by clicking the link in the description down below, or heading over to overheadactionplan.com. In the meantime, after you get your plan, come back to this video, drop us a comment, let us know how your results and your improvement is coming along, and give us a like if you liked this video. Subscribe to our channel to never miss any of our upcoming lessons, and thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next lesson.